Hey guys, J Man here, and I'm back in the danger room, and I'm talking to some amazing fans today. So this is going to be episode number two officially of the Amazing Fans, and it's it's replacing slash in addition to the X fans. And what happened was that I had a lot of people reach out to me who have seen my X-Men videos, but and they like the X-Men, and they're great characters, but they also wanted to talk about some other characters. So I thought, let's just open it up. It was something that I had planned for ahead of time anyway. I had a feeling that people would want to get into some other characters. I didn't realize it would be as soon as it happened to be. So we've already talked. Last week was the first episode of the Amazing Fans where we talked about Tarzan, and I think that went really well. So this week we're going to be talking about the Incredible Hulk, who's a character I love. I have a Gray Hulk tattoo. I loved Gray Hulk as a kid. I kind of was reading. I read a lot of Green Hulk, but when Peter David took over with the Gray Hulk stuff, I was like really intrigued by that. And I just thought he looked really, a little bit scarier than the Green Hulk. But I love Green Hulk, obviously. I love Hulk in all of his forms. I don't know if I can show you. I have like up here, I have like a major, this way, right there, that up there, that is all Incredible Hulk stuff. And I have tons of Hulk comics. So I've been collecting Hulk forever, and I'm a big fan of his. All right. So let's get things started. If you guys want to be a part of the Amazing Fans, whether it's X-Men related or it could be like pulp heroes like the Spider or Doc Savage, it could be DC characters, Batman, Superman, anything like that. Let me know in the comments of any of my videos. You can reach out to me in any social media format that you want, and let me know that you want to be a part of it. And I'll have you on the show as part of the Amazing Fans. Okay, let's bring in our first guest here, and he's been on here before, back in the old time days when we really started to branch out the channel, when I stopped doing kind of my movie and horror movie reviews, and I branched out into like superheroes and stuff. And that is Jo. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it doing? Going good. I'm
Good,
good.
good. So you've been on a few times, and we talked about Hulk. And now, when you were last on, I didn't have my proper setup, which was I was using a lot of the free softwares, and there's a lot of restraints on those, so it didn't. It wasn't as great to use. So I thought I would go ahead and start using the StreamYard format, which I'm finding to be very good. And it's makes it easier for me to interact with everybody. Oh, Belle Reeve, how's it going? Do you, do,
Hey,
do you know
Bill.
Belle? Do you know
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
she's from QCrest. Yeah, she's a cool
Yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah. So you guys know that. That's great. Belle, if you ever want to come on here and talk about a character that you love, I don't know who your favorite character is at all. I don't know who your favorite character is, because I like everybody. And also, we're not going to do any, and just if anybody is new out there, we're not going to do any kind of like negative talk about, we're not going to argue about what we think sucks or whatever. It's like we're going to talk, as fans. So if you don't like something, that's cool. There's no judgment, is what I'm saying. We could be negative if you don't like Hulk in this version or whatever, that's fine. But
Yeah.
we're not going to make fun of people if they do. A lot of people like the MCU Hulk. Some people don't like him as much. Some people like Gray Hulk. Some people don't like Gray Hulk. It is what it is. So, Jo, why don't you? I'm going to let you talk for a little bit. Tell us about why you like the Hulk, and like what was it like? How did you get to like the Hulk, and kind of how did it all come about?
Well, growing up, I watched, I think, let's say the first Hulk film. I think it was when Eric Bana was doing it. I think like 2004, 2005, and that's what like kind of got me interested. And the next film after that came out was The Incredible Hulk by forgot the director's name, but it was portrayed by Edward Norton, and that one got me like so hyped up because like that dude right there could play the Hulk, man. This Hulk got me like very hyped, for like seeing him in like sequels and stuff. But then after that, they got recast, and I was like a little upset because I really wanted to see Norton's Hulk and his story to continue. But that's when Ruffalo came in. I was all right with him and stuff. Was it like to me? I felt like Norton had that dark and grittiness to his like character and stuff, and I just really, really loved it to where I would probably like read the comics just based off of the Incredible Hulk movie. So yeah.
So basically now, oh, and Belle is saying that she likes Wolverine. Wolverine is in my top 10, and Superman is my favorite. So if you ever want to talk about either of those or both in different segments, let me know and we can set something up. Okay, so
Sure.
um, all right, yeah, Incredible Hulk. Okay, so I liked the Ang Lee Hulk movie. I thought it was really cool. It was a lot of
Mm,
fun. I like the comic book panels, the way they did the panels. It
mm.
was a little bit slow, right? Did you think it was a little bit maybe slow moving to a
The
little
Ang
bit?
Lee Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think too. The back then CGI wasn't at like 100% during that
Mhm.
time. So I was like, well, yeah, because like if I was to watch it again, like now, I would notice like like how you said it was going slow. I would notice it right away because it's like an old film. I was like what 3 years old during the time, so you would actually notice it.
Now, what did you think? I like the Eric Bana movie as well. Now, what did you think of Sam Elliott as Thunderbolt Ross? I thought he was perfect
From the Ang Lee.
from the Ang Lee.
Yeah, you know what? That's another thing. Like I don't know how they did it, but they got actors to look just like or sound like just to represent characters from the comics. You're like, dang man, this dude really knows how to like act as Ross.
Yeah.
Same thing with the next Hulk film. Like they did a phenomenal job with Ross. I really loved
Yeah,
it.
Sam Elliott, his voice and like he's very commanding and
Hmm.
he feels very strong. I know, and we're gonna have Steve join us in a bit as well. And I know that Steven personally thought that he was perfect in that role. That would have been the one character where I wouldn't have maybe recast. I like it's William Hurt, I believe, is Ross after that, or is it no? It's William Hurt, right? I always get the Hurts confused. There's John Hurt, who's
Wait,
Mr.
Incredible Hulk.
Chestburster, uh, and then it's William Hurt, I believe, is is
Oh, okay.
is, is the new Ross or whatever. Yes, he is perfect. I agree. Right. So Sean. Now, what do you think? I think they respected the Hulk. Do you think they respected him a lot, the character in the Ang Lee version?
Um. Well, with the Hulk, yeah. It was just like like there's always this thing with Bruce,
Hmm.
to where like they don't really focus enough on, and people I think had a problem with that, but they like understood the Hulk. So I was like, okay, well, just give me the Hulk, and I guess I'm not really that too much, serious about Bruce, but like just focus on Hulk, and then I'm
Just
gone.
go and you're good. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jennifer Connelly is one of my favorites of all time. I've watched her since Labyrinth, and there's an Italian horror movie called Phenomenon, or it's called Creepers, the Creeps or something, or the Creepers.
yeah.
And she
She's in
controls
another movie
bugs.
called Requiem for Dreams. I was gonna
Yeah,
watch
she's in
that.
that. She's a
Hmm.
great actress, and she like the thing with that Ang Lee Hulk movie is that they made it feel as though this was a serious, very deep film. They got into the psyche, and it's like the sins of the father and all of this stuff, and everyone really played it very, very straight, almost to the point where it was like, yeah, she's definitely underrated. She's great.
Yeah,
Um,
she is.
and I felt that they took everything very seriously, but then it was almost like it got to a point where maybe it was a little bit too serious, where people were kind of like, well, I also want to see Hulk, fight more people or fight other creatures. He fought the dogs, which was kind of cool.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
What did you think about now? Did you get comics? Did you get Hulk comic books when you were younger, or not as much?
Oh man, man, I'm trying to figure. Did I? No, I did go to the store and I saw him, but I never did get him.
It
Yeah,
was the
that's the only thing. I went to the store. I think it's I'm in Houston,
Yep.
and I think it was right by the NRG stadium we have, and I think the comic store was like right around that area. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta get that, but I'm going back to get it.
Now, I mean so the two I think Ang Lee Hulk was 2003 if my memories. I never research anything before I go live, which is maybe a fault of my own. But I like to try to remember it to see how good I am. I think it was
I think
2003. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
man, I was 2 years old then, but
How old were you?
two.
Two? Oh my! Well, obviously you weren't reading the comics. So the movie is the thing that really got you. And then when was the Incredible Hulk movie? I'm sure Steve will tell.
2008.
2008. Okay, so 2008. And then that got you even more excited, right?
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. Like I was kind of scared. Like,
Yeah,
that's the good thing about it though. If as a kid and you're watching a comic book movie like Hulk, right? The Incredible Hulk, I wanted to feel that way, especially with
right.
everything going on. Like it had that dark, gritty take on the Hulk and what was going on with the plot and everything, that it made sense, and I mean I got the DVD actually
Mhm.
this year, and when I was watching my cousin said he even liked it like more than, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I was like, wow, really? Yeah. But I agree with him because I mean, oh man, that right there got me hyped. That got me hyped.
I think I started with Hulk with two things, which was the cartoon series. There was, and I actually bought it. This is the only thing I've bought off iTunes, which is the old Incredible Hulk, where he's being crushed in the thing, and it's like these spikes come out, and I remember the music, and he break through it, and it
The
was
real
part of
live action.
no, not live action. The live action was the other thing as well, but um, it was the cartoon that was paired up with Spider Man. So it would be a Spider-Man and
Oh,
Hulk cartoon. So you'd see a half an hour of Spider-Man, half an hour of Incredible Hulk, and that was the one where when he would turn back to Banner, his clothes would come back. It was it because and I actually read, and you can go. There's a website which I don't remember now, but just search Hulk cartoon. It's from the '80s, where there's literally I actually saw the memos. This guy has a PDF of like sort of the show's Bible, a Bible for shows where they explain the characters, so anyone who's going to write an episode can quickly see what the characters do. 82 cartoon Sean, yep, that's the one. Um, and they explain, they're like, well, how are we going to deal with the fact that Hulk loses his clothes every time in a 20-minute cartoon where you have to get the pace going, right? And he has to turn to Hulk a couple of times, or else why are you watching the cartoon? So they just said, we're going to ignore it. They literally said, we're going to ignore it, and that's it. Lou Ferrigno Hulk series, I love it. Lou Ferrigno is the best. I have it, of course, on DVD.
I finished the whole series.
Oh, that's great.
You know what? Even my mom, she could tell you right now, she loved it. I was okay with his name being David because I thought it
Yes.
was like a different universe. Still Bruce,
Yep.
but still, I mean, like I think his name was Bruce, right? Or it was David, whatever. But like,
Well, we can there's weird things with that because I always thought it was Robert Bruce Banner. And
mm,
then it was just Bruce Banner because Marvel likes the doubles, the Peter Parker, Matt Murdock, Bruce Banner. They like the same letter as the two names. And then
mm,
in the show they call him David because
David.
he changed his name and he was on the run, and then his last name would be Banyan, or like it wouldn't be Banner because he wouldn't didn't want people to know who he was. So it was like he would be B something. But like David was his real name, and he just changed his last name. So I don't know. I thought it was weird. That show's weird. If you watch the making of it, they wanted to make Hulk red because the producers thought that when you get angry, you get red. So they're like, why isn't Hulk red? And literally the Marvelites were like, guys, if it's not Green Hulk, like no one's gonna give a shit
Yeah,
about the
if it's
Hulk,
not
right?
green,
But then they made a red Hulk, which is weird. Which is weird too. They ended up making a red Hulk
in the comics, right?
in the comics. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that would have been interesting. Yeah, but I mean, the show, my mom, she would tell you that was Great Hope, a Great Hope show.
Yeah, it was
Literally,
it was
like
it was awesome.
Ferrigno, she was like, well, see, I think he's 6'5". I was like, dang, he was that tall and that buff, man.
Yeah,
That's
he was either second or third runner up in Mr. Olympia. If you watch Pumping Iron, if you watch the Schwarzenegger film Pumping Iron, that's a great
oh
movie.
yeah, I think he won some, right?
He didn't beat Schwarzenegger because Schwarzenegger bodybuilding's weird. It's like you have to be symmetrical. Like you can't just be like, oh, Lou Ferrigno's taller and bigger. They literally look at like, okay, how do your muscles compare to all your body? So if you say I want to get bigger biceps, you can't just get bigger biceps. You then have to get everything symmetrically proportioned to match the bigger biceps. Whereas Lou was a bigger, stronger, taller looking guy, but he wasn't proportioned in the right way. And it's also symmetrics. So it's like, it's literally like, does this side match this side? It's weird. You should watch Pumping
That
Iron.
is weird.
That's just a great movie. But so let's, I remember Fergal Hulk fought another Hulk who looked like Crockett. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, it's I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the episode where I think David was like searching for a scientist or whatever for because he was always trying to find that cure,
Sure,
and
yeah.
it didn't work. But
Didn't work.
like he was trying to find a scientist, and the dude like was there, and I think like he was missing what he had with the Hulk thing, which I still don't believe how he got that. That's crazy. And the fact that when he turned, I was like, wait, there's another Hulk?
Yeah, what's going on?
I was like, oh snap! And I was watching the fight. I was like, man, imagine if Abomination was in this. Pretty
Oh my
much,
gosh.
that's like a Abomination type ripoff. I was like, man, I'll take it.
Now,
I'll take it.
what did you think of when he, did you see the ones where he met, I was just going to say something. Anthony, what's going on? I was just going to say, do you remember when he had Daredevil? He met Daredevil and Kingpin was in that one and he met Thor.
Yeah, so I watched the one with the Thor one. I like that one better. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I know Thor was cheesy. You know what
I
I mean? It
love
is the 80s, but I was
I love
okay with it, you know. I
Yeah,
was
I love
okay with it.
Thor. He was a
Yeah.
tweeter and all that. Now the Daredevil one was weird because he was funny enough, in the Daredevil one, he was all in black, which they ended up Frank Miller
In
ended
the
up
Netflix.
adapting that
Yeah.
in his run, right? Where he had like just like, well, he looked more like Daredevil just with black, but like Frank Miller used that black outfit as sort of the prototype Daredevil costume,
Wait,
whatever.
Frank Miller used the black.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure someone can correct me. Sean's in the chat. Sean can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the black suited Daredevil predates the Frank Miller run. I could be wrong. If
If
I'm wrong,
that's
let me
true,
know.
if that is
Because
true.
I
Ooh.
I'm just going by memory. I don't research anything. I'm just literally like thinking out loud, and I think it could be. I could be wrong. Sean will check it out, I'm sure, and let me know. But either way, it's like the black costume was there, and Kingpin was John Rhys Davies. I think who's great, and it's like it's a very interesting Kingpin. So it's like they had a lot of cool stuff like
Oh.
in that show for a show of that time, and they never had villains. I always wanted to see Hulk. Like when I was a kid, and I'd see Hulk I would just wait until he gets angry, and when he saw his eyes would turn. You'd be like, "Oh shit, here we go!"
Yeah. I was like,
So,
yeah, man.
what do you think about? Did you like the Planet Hulk stuff in Thor Ragnarok? Like that sort of
Um, for the MCU?
MCU? Yeah.
Well, I was kind of like wondering where he was until I like watched the film. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense, you know. And
Mhm.
I feel like they should have did it like just as a Planet Hulk type movie, instead of Thor, because that probably would have been gotten my like,
Mm.
my interest in it instead of just being a Thor movie. But if it was like Planet Hulk, I would have definitely liked it, you know, and get all the Hulk like characters. They even had that one dude statue, forgot his name. It's a
Oh yeah.
villain he fought, the dude with the I think two heads or something like that.
I don't remember. Maybe Steve will remember if when we
Yeah,
bring
they
him in.
had. I was like, man, I want to see that because I have the
Oh
game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They had all this. They had all of the former champions around the arena, correct? Or was that? Or am I
Yeah, and it
mistaken
was
there?
one of the characters that was a Hulk villain, official Hulk villain from the comics.
Yeah,
I was
there's a
like, that
lot
would
of
have been a cool
Easter eggs.
fight.
It's like impossible because they just throw in so many Easter eggs. It's hard to like tell to see everything that's going on.
Yeah,
In
if you
some of
had the
these.
game, you would like notice right away.
So I had the I don't know what the video game was called. The one where where you make you break a car in half and you make a
Yeah, that's
fist.
the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a great game, and
I
they had
still
Gray
got it.
Hulk.
I still
Yeah,
got it.
nice, nice. And I chose Gray Hulk immediately. Now, did you like? did you know about Gray Hulk, or is that something that you didn't know about?
Okay, so first time I knew about Grey Hulk was from the '90s Hulk cartoon, and I was like, huh,
Yep.
he's gray. And also, when I watched the Incredible Hulk film again, when I got it on DVD, I went to the bonus features. You know how they have talk about the commentary and stuff, and in there they were saying how Jeff Loeb had done a comic book run for the Hulk. It was the Gray Hulk, and one of those parts you see in the movie where he has Betty under the cave and it's raining.
Yep.
That in the comic was Gray Hulk. I was like, what? Wow. You know, I was like, man, I gotta get some Grey Hulk comics. You know, that got me interested in it.
I have a lot. Most of my Hulk stuff is the Gray Hulk stuff. It's Peter David. This arm is almost a tribute to all the Peter David characters. So Gray Hulk, he did Spider Man, he did X Factor with Polaris and like Aquaman. I'm gonna get Supergirl here because he did a Supergirl run. So I love Peter David, and all of his stuff was really cool. Oh, Sean has. I just saw. Okay, Sean is saying the Daredevil black suit is Man Without Fear. Yep, number 4, Frank Miller, 1994.
So it
So,
is
dude,
comic book accurate.
so
Wow,
dude,
that is
like, cause like
crazy.
that's Frank Miller taking it because. Hello, Ronald. How's it going? I'm not sure if you've ever been in the. Oh, so is that Daredevil as your icon? I've read that. Is that the Charles Soule Daredevil series? Because that was a great series. Just as a random Daredevil
When did that
reference.
come out?
That was the current Daredevil is Chip Zdarsky. So this Daredevil is before that. It's the one right before that because something happened. Then there was a Man Without Fear miniseries, and then that went into the newest Daredevil series. Prior to that was that one that he has his icon on. But Daredevil also wore that black costume in the Shadowlands stuff, which I did not read any of that stuff. Uh,
See,
Superman Warworld, yes, I agree with that. It did. Superman. Imagine they had Mongo and Superman. That'd be wicked. They should do.
oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I'll talk about it later. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I can't believe that black suit is actually comic book accurate. Wow,
So no, I'm saying the comic book took it from that. I'm saying the show did black costume first
they
because
did it first.
I don't think like the trial of the Incredible Hulk has to be before 1994, right?
Oh
It's
yeah,
got
that
to
is
be because
before.
like that show's way older.
Are you
So that means
serious?
that I don't know if the show is the first appearance of a black thing, but black costume, but like that means Frank Miller borrowed it from that, or he must have seen that. There's no way Frank Miller didn't see
Yeah,
that,
I
right? It's
mean,
impossible. Like, because Frank Miller's a nerd, right? He would have been watching. He would have been watching all that stuff.
yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
all right, so I'm going to bring in Steve. Trial exactly. Trial is late '80s, so that means that Frank Miller borrowed some stuff.
That's smart.
Born Again. Uh, I
Now I heard that's a good story, and the Netflix series actually had season 3 be inspired from that story,
yeah.
which is good. Very good season.
Okay, this is just gonna be a quick dare. I'm gonna put my thing full screen, then I'm gonna bring Steve in. So I know we're talking about Incredible Hulk, but we're just gonna do a quick segue. All right, so Ronald, here is I have every Daredevil thing that's ever come out.
Oh
And
my god.
now and some of that and then also you can't see it, but I'll move the camera up or there's my Daredevil shelf.
Oh my god.
So that's Death of Elektra, and that's the first appearance of Stiltman. And then this side is the famous cover where Daredevil's holding the gun up to the audience. It's hard to see.
Wow.
But I have not. So I have not read everything. I was getting as many Daredevils in my top 5 favorites, and
Yeah, he is. Top 5.
and I haven't. I know. Okay, yeah, that's it. We're done with
Yeah,
Daredevil.
we just gotta have
So
that.
let's get back to Incredible Hulk, who is also in my top 10. All right. Let's bring in Steven. What's going on, Steve? Oh my God, it's Hulk. He's in the middle of transforming into Hulk.
Someone
So
I worked with got that. She won that in a yeah. She won that in a radio contest, and she gave it to me because she's like, "Oh, you like the Incredible Hulk?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
oh
So
my
I
God,
got that in the game.
dude, I would run around punching people in the face with that. Like you can't give me like Hulk fists. Like
I know,
I would literally beat the crap out of everything.
I know, I know. It was dangerous to give it to me, but I'm like, all right, fine.
So is Hulk your favorite Marvel character, Steve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So what was your first ever experience with Hulk? Was it comics or cartoon or the show or
It was comics.
comics?
It was literally that comic where I always remember it, where Hulk is like tiny and he's got Jarella with him, and they're on this like rock ledge, and then this like enormous hand is coming down on top of them. It's like,
I know it.
yeah,
I
it's
know
from
the
the
one you're talking about.
it's from the early '70s.
Oh my God.
Um,
Let me see if I can pull it up on my iPad. I have a lot of Grey Hulk stuff. The Grey Hulk issues, like the actual comics.
Yeah.
Daredevil comics, just as a quick, I only have those what you see up here in the Frank Miller, the big thick omnibus. But Daredevil, because there's so much for Daredevil, I had to go digital. I can't go back and try to collect all these. Same with Hulk.
Yeah.
For Hulk, I've literally just tried to get the Grey Hulk stuff because I cannot possibly go back and collect everything. But I have it all digital for Hulk, so I'm just gonna see if I can find that issue.
I might
continue
do that
on.
too.
Yeah. So I remember, like, and we spoke about this before. Like, as kids, you're sort of drawn to the cover more than anything. You're not going to obviously stand there. This back in the day, where they were in convenience stores on the carousel things, and there was always like Superman, Batman, Hulk, Spider-Man, all that stuff. You're not going to pick up the entire issue and read it in the convenience store because you probably also want to buy your chips, your candy, your pop, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you just grab the most interesting cover.
That's all Hulk collections. I'll never find it. I know it's in here.
Yeah.
But I've even got like the current Hulk on here too. So it's just too many things.
Yeah. So like Hulk is a very interesting visual character. You're going to grab him. You're drawn to him as a kid if you like big, colorful characters. And why would you read comics if you don't like big, colorful characters, sort of thing? And so I got into him by that. And like, Hulk is the best character for a bullied kid, right? If you've been bullied as a kid, and like, who hasn't been, right? But like, if you really feel it, and like, the Hulk is your favorite character because he's a little skinny guy, and then he gets pushed too far, and he turns into a massive monster who just crushes everything. I mean,
I love when he transforms.
Yeah.
Yes, I've met Chip Zdarsky when he was doing Spectacular Spider-Man. I got a photo with him, and he autographed my my copy.
Wow, awesome.
The Hulk show was great. Ronald, if you ever want to come on here, and talk Daredevil, let's set something up.
I'm ready for that too.
You want to come on for Daredevil?
Yeah, I know. Look, I got it.
Planet Hulk.
Okay, we're gonna Planet Hulk. That was great. So I had the hardcover of Planet Hulk. Did I give that to you, Steve?
Yeah.
I gave you that. Okay.
You gave me. Yeah, you got that for me. You got that for me, and season 1 of the Hulk show
when it came on DVD. Yes. Oh yes, for sure. Bell, Grey Hulk. Yeah. So Grey Hulk turns to Hulk at night, no matter what.
Yeah.
The first ever issue of Incredible Hulk, was he was gray. He turned at night. It's sort of a Jekyll and Hyde-ish kind of a thing going on. A little bit of a Frankenstein-ish thing. Hulk was really kind of a mashup of he looked like Frankenstein's monster, but he sort of had the thing of the Jekyll and Hyde. Now, Jekyll and Hyde is actually different than what people know. When Jekyll turns to Hyde, he actually becomes smaller.
Yeah.
and creepier and weirder.
Yeah.
It's actually a different kind of thing than what we're used to seeing, where now people think Hyde is like this big creature.
Yeah.
That's not how
No.
that actually was if you go
No.
back to the origins. But anyways, getting off topic. Yeah, so they couldn't keep up the consistency of gray because it is what it is. They're like, let's make, and literally Stan Lee, the way he tells it is like, oh, let's just make him green. Excuse me. And it's like, you're like, okay, so they just made him green from that point on. But then Peter David didn't start this, I don't think, but at some point someone started, and then Peter David continued his 10-year run, and that was the big bulk of Gray Hulk and Smart Hulk, and now he's doing Maestro,
Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It, all that
good.
stuff, right? So that's all from there.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, give me 1 second. I gotta cough it.
Yeah, I know
some
exactly
water.
what he's talking about. He always gave a nickname to whoever he was fighting. He's like, like Tiger Shark comes out of Niagara Falls and fights him. He's like, Fishman, this and that.
Yeah.
He always I love the Hulk way he's doing that, because he's like a child. So he doesn't know. So he's just like, it actually sounds like he's giving him a juvenile insult. Like he's always like melty face or whatever. Like it's hilarious. Like it's because you got this big badass character who comes in, he's like, I'm this and doing that, and Hulk's like, you're stupid face, I'm going to smash.
I wish they had done Gray Hulk before they did Smart Hulk in
Dang.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
I said the same thing. The same thing.
Yeah.
Immortal Hulk, I read the first 20 or something. I actually have the first 20 something, maybe even up to 30 issues. Now Immortal Hulk is a brand new series, so I was able to get that.
Wait, it's brand new?
The Immortal, well, I don't know what brand new is now. It's on issue 30.
I thought it was
ended.
World
It
Breaker
may have ended.
or whatever his name is, World Breaker Hulk.
Superman beats everybody.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, we could put that topic to bed very easily. Superman beats everybody. If all the superheroes in Marvel and DC all teamed up together, Superman would still win. Superman beats everybody. That's that. I will not entertain arguments.
Like a werewolf. That's exactly what I was going to say. He's like a werewolf.
Exactly. So yeah, so it's a mashup of all of those Universal monsters. Yeah, he probably could last a very long time, but Superman still wins. But Superman will win. I agree, Ronald. You are smart.
Kryptonians
What's
are
up, Caleb?
strong.
How's it going? Indestructible Hulk. What is that? Was that a series?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
So many nicknames.
That must have been because what happened after the regular run of Hulk? Okay, so I have Tales to Astonish.
Oh yeah, that's the original.
Yeah, not when Hulk first appeared, but when Namor appeared, and it was Namor and Hulk. And Steve and I were hitting those pretty hard. We were doing weekly reviews on those issues, then Hulk's numbering continued from Tales to Astonish, I believe.
Yeah, 100 and something.
101 or something.
Yeah.
So Namor got his own series.
Yeah.
Iron Man got his own series, and Captain America and Hulk continued from the Tales suspense / Astonish numbering.
Yeah.
So Hulk is weird because there's 6 issues of Incredible Hulk, and then the next issue is like 101 or 102. It's weird.
Yeah, if you're looking,
I would lose track.
Hulk, if you're just looking at the Hulk series, it's like 6, and then if you're going in chronological order, then it's like
Tales to Astonish
number 49 or something. It's like down like in the around the 49, 50 something range.
Superman wins. Superman beats everybody.
I mean, he is strong. I got given that he is the strongest. Yeah.
And then Incredible Hulk starts from like 101, and I think it goes up to 600 and something. I'm
losing track.
I'm on like 338, something like that.
Yeah. So, Steve, why don't you tell us about like what 3 years? Has it been over 3 years now, or has it been?
Oh yeah, big time.
So it's about like 4 or 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a community on Google Plus which was same thing as my channel, and we were doing like Steve. You guys don't know this, but Steven has actually been reading every Amazing Spider-Man comic and every Incredible Hulk comic from the beginning.
Yeah,
Steve, what number are you on for Incredible Hulk?
338 or something like that.
338, man.
Oh my
It's
god!
like
How?
1987. I read
How?
everything since the beginning to up to like 1987. I think I'm literally on December 87.
So you've done two decades.
Yeah.
The first 2 decades of Hulk.
Yeah.
Like literally, like my God. So I mean, it's crazy, right? And it's great that we could do that in this digital age. I mean, that's fantastic to go back and be able to read some of these stories that Stan and Jack and all of those guys put so much heart into.
Oh, it's crazy.
I love the Hulk comics. The tales are so great.
But it's funny because for the longest time, Hulk was one-off adventures. Like he was in space. He was in space so many times.
Right.
He went back in time. He met the Shaper World, who is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Story.
He did all this stuff. He did a lot of like great stuff with like characters with like Cracker Jack, and Glenn Talbot. You saw him live and die. Like you see him get introduced and die. Like all this stuff that happened. But like lately, starting when Doctor Strange sent him to the Crossroads and then continuing Grey Hulk, it hasn't been one-offs. It's been long storylines.
So you must be in the Peter David era by now.
I'm in the Peter David era big time.
So the thing with Peter David is that he's one of these like visionary guys who's like, it's like it's 10 years of Peter David, for Christ's sakes, 10 years.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it to do a couple of stories and leave. So he's really crafting this like really big tale. There's just so many things that he was doing. Yes, that's correct. Who can't defeat the Hulk? So who would the Hulk beat up? I mean, it's difficult to say because the Hulk keeps getting stronger, and if he's smart too, I mean, like smart Hulk like is a very dangerous person, really.
But smart Hulk, I think, has a weakness, and that's that he gets stronger as he gets angrier. But if you're smart, logic will kick in. Right. And you won't get as angry as in if you're Savage Hulk and you're just like getting angrier and angrier. Like there was a frigging monolith. He was a robot who's like he was worshipped as a god, and literally, like he's like I have never been challenged, and Hulk decimated him. I literally think he hit him with a mountain or something.
Right.
And you're like that's pretty hardcore. Like, I'll give you an example. One of the strongest characters in Marvel is Juggernaut.
Right.
I think that's undeniable.
Yeah, he's because he can't be stopped, right?
Like, right. Juggernaut and Hulk fight to a draw. So, I mean, that's a character, like, I don't know who could beat Hulk in DC. I think even Superman, you would get into a Superman doomsday sort of situation.
Where they're just going to beat each other to death or whatever?
Yeah, we'll beat each other to death. Like, because Hulk won't turn until he calms down. He won't turn back into Banner if he turns down, until he calms down.
Right.
But I remember, J.O., you were talking about this. Professor Hulk is not really that good.
I said the same.
When I read the comic, I went, oh, because I thought I would love Professor Hulk. I remember reading Professor Hulk as a kid, and I'm thinking, this is great. He's got dialogue. You can understand. Right? But now that you read him, you're like, oh, he's not really that interesting.
I like Hulk. I like Savage Hulk, and then Grey Hulk are my two favorites. What do you think, J.O.?
Like the Green Hulk I like. Of course, Grey Hulk. I'm like I said, I'm gonna start reading more because like that is an interesting Hulk to me. I've never learned that much about him, but I'm going to get to. And I think I think it was one called World Breaker Hulk,
Yeah.
where like I think he got decimated, but then he like reformed and regenerated himself back. I was like, holy cow, this dude is like immortal. You know, like you can't even kill the Hulk. I'm gonna say that you can't kill him. You can't.
Yeah, he can't.
Yeah.
That's why it was weird when the Lou Ferrigno Hulk fell out of a plane and died, because the Hulk would kick in. Immortal Hulk is sort of like where the current series from when I was reading it was like, it's like he's kind of like, even he's kind of dead or something too, and it's just like, but like Hulk won't die. Like it's like
No.
you just
It's not
can't.
easy.
Yeah, you just can't kill him. Yeah. Okay. So Namor predates Aquaman.
So before
Namor
Aquaman,
Namor came up. Namor is 1939, and I just checked. I checked this one.
dang.
Namor is 1939. Aquaman is 41. Both characters. I have an Aquaman tattoo, but Namor is my favorite Marvel character, and I have a Namor collection behind over there. You can't see it's on that side. Namor, I am actually collecting. I have all of his Tales to Astonish, and I'm collecting every single series with his name on it in physical form, and I'm just getting them all. I'm not getting any Golden Age stuff because Bill Everett and those kind of that old school stuff is impossible. It's very costly because Namor and Human Torch, the android, Jim Hammond, Human Torch. These are the first ever characters which become what is known as Marvel. And Captain America is there as well. Stan Lee did not create Captain America or Namor or the android Human Torch. Stan Lee was like either not born or perhaps a kid when those characters came out. That Marvel, timely, whatever, when they became Marvel, they adopted those characters. So Aquaman is technically ripped off of Namor, but the personalities could not be more like opposite to each other. And we are going to do a Namor talk. Someone reached out to me on the Namor group that I'm part of, and they want to talk Namor. They can't do Fridays. I'm just working out a schedule with them, and next week's going to be Captain America. But yeah, okay. So let's see here. You want to see Iron Man versus Cyborg? I don't know. Like, I mean,
I would probably go with
Cyborg is a Teen
Cyborg.
Titan to me. Cyborg is part of the Teen Titans. It's weird. I know they threw him in Justice League in like a later series of comics, but to me, Martian Manhunter and a Green Lantern, whether you want to use John Stewart, whether you want to use Hal Jordan or Guy Gardner or whoever, that's the 7 to me, the Justice League, right?
I think of I think of the animated ones. I think of Hawkgirl as the 7th member usually. You got the 6th and Hawkgirl.
Hawkgirl, yeah. See that again? That's an animated thing. I think the old school comic nerds are more like, it's like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Okay, duh. And then Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
That's sort of
simple 7.
that's the 7, right?
Yeah.
And then Green Lantern could be anyone. If you want to have more diversity, you can have John Stewart instead of Hal Jordan.
I love John Stewart.
Yeah, John
Stewart's a great character. He's one of those characters. Yeah, he's one of those characters where it didn't feel like they're just trying to pander to everybody. They're just like, no, he's like a legit character. So yeah, John Stewart's a great one. Well, Zack Snyder wanted him but couldn't get him. We're not getting into that. That's a
later topic.
That's a non-Hulk topic.
Hulk in the 70s, Batman by surprising Hulk with nerve. So that's the only thing that can take down the Hulk really is gas. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah,
because he's got to breathe. Now he can hold his breath for a long time, right? But if you surprise him with gas and he, because that's how that's the only way the leader has. First time they met, leader gassed him.
Yes. Now, what do you now? What do you think of, guys? What are your thoughts on the leader, Steve? I know your answer. Jo, what do you think of the leader?
Well, first time I saw him was in the cartoon, and I thought he was pretty good. You know, as like a villain. I think it was a doctor who just had some surgery and had his head come big or whatever. Yep. And people were saying that they wanted to see him in the MCU, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. But I don't know if they're gonna do that or not.
You saw him for 5 minutes, right? In the
the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, why is his head? I was like, oh, that's the leader. But you know, MCU, I don't know.
Steve, now Steve and I share this opinion. Go ahead, Steve.
Leader is one of the best villains in Marvel history
ever.
The
ever.
leader is brilliant.
Oh my god.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Listen,
They
the
need
guy's
to
on
do him-
the guy's reading 350 Hulk comics. Take it
Yeah.
from the guy who's read 350 Hulk comics.
the leader has to be done. He has to be done. He needs his due. The leader is a brilliant character. He needs to come in with the plastic men guys, the rubber men. I forget what he calls them,
Yes,
but
yes, those guys are great.
he's got to do that. Yeah.
He's
oh.
punching out.
Yeah, like they got to do that. I would love to see them do Boomerang. They're never going to do Boomerang, but I would love to see them do Boomerang. It's even interesting a character like Half-Life, who I just read about, and that was Todd McFarlane drew that one.
Yeah,
Todd
so
McFarlane
good.
drew that comic.
What's the character's name?
The character's name was Half-Life. He's like the Hulk. He was an English professor, and he got nailed with gamma, but the thing is, it killed him. So he's in pieces. He only forms at night.
Yeah.
So he only otherwise he's a corpse. And people keep burying him, and he keeps coming back to life at night. And he's like a vampire.
That is kind of cool.
That was really cool character.
I might read that since you said that. That sounds kind of cool.
He's really cool, J.O. Like, he's awesome.
Half-Life? Is that the cover where he's punching
Half-Life.
through him? Is that the cover where he's there's a cover? What's the cover where he's punching through a guy? Is that?
I think that's it.
That was. I had that when it came out off the rack, and I thought, "Holy crap! Hulk is punching through somebody. This is the damn best." Oh, yeah, he's a great character too.
Half-Life was awesome, but you know who? This is going to sound funny. You know who the movies have really done like too much of a service to? Betty Ross.
Yeah, she's trash in the. She's trash in the comics. I've read all the Tales to Astonish.
No.
And I'm onto the Hulks, and it's like she's rubbish, man.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly made her better.
Yeah.
People were saying about her in the Incredible Hulk film, like she wasn't really that, kind of character that was interesting. So since y'all said that she was kind of rubbish in the comics, I was just like, okay, well, shoot, that makes sense.
I'll be honest with you. The character in the comics in the Incredible Hulk was actually closer to the comic than I would say the Jennifer Connelly one. Because Jennifer Connelly was actually really good. And I'm like, if you read the comics, you're like, that is not Betty Ross. Betty Ross comes and goes. She goes psychotic at one point. She becomes a monster, a gamma monster.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
the harpy.
Yeah.
Right? She marries Glenn Talbot, and she's gone for a long time. They're just like on their honeymoon and stuff. The part I'm reading, you know what, Sean? If they do that, that would be awesome. I just want leader.
I want leader too, but I want the real leader. I don't want a BS leader.
No.
Like a joking type leader.
I don't want a stupidity leader.
Exactly.
Hulk, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I'm kind of worried.
Okay, green Hulk with purple pants, gray Hulk with blue pants. That's my pants. What? Jo, what's your pants preference for the green Hulk? Do you like the purple or the blue? Or something else?
I'd probably have to go with both. But if I had to choose one, I would probably go with blue.
All right.
Yeah.
Steve?
I agree with you. Green, purple. Green has to be with purple. Blue has to be with gray. It's just more interesting visually.
Sense, yeah. What do we think? Okay. So I haven't watched it yet. Steve hasn't watched it yet. I don't think Sean's watched it yet. We are talking about that Sunday. So Ronald, come back 6:30 Eastern this Sunday. We're talking about that. We're going to be talking about Invincible. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. That's going to be a long live stream, and that's a live stream where I bring in people from the chat, and they can come in and join us and talk with us in the Danger Room. So stay tuned for that. We're definitely going to hit all that up big time. So what else about Hulk? Like, I mean, he's a very interesting character that people have not really made interesting enough. It seems like the general public is like, well, he just punches guys, so what's the big deal? And again, Hulk and Superman share this, where Hulk and Superman require very talented writers in order to bring life to those stories and those characters. And if you don't have that, you're going to end up the MCU Hulk where he's just there, and he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't have a personality. The
That-
only time you see the Hulk have a personality in the MCU is when in Thor Ragnarok. That is the closest
the
he is
only time.
to comic book Hulk. Otherwise, he's just a monster who growls a lot. He beats guys up. Like, he occasionally says something, but Hulk is chatty. Hulk is always talking in the comic. The only time he's not talking is if Bruce Banner got separated from him, or there was a point where Bruce Banner died psychically and it was just Savage Hulk.
Yep.
Like, then it's just him growling because he has no body. There's no like human side to him. But like, Hulk is very chatty. He's always talking. He's always like, "Go away," blah blah blah. You know, puny men always attacking Hulk. You know, that sort of thing. He's always talking, and he did not talk other than occasional words until Thor Ragnarok.
So what do you think, Jo? Have they captured him yet, or like have they portrayed him perfectly yet, or not?
Well,
yet?
the thing is, with Norton's take, I feel like if Disney had let them go with that, they would have gotten to that point. Because I noticed he did say some, like only a couple words in that film.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh wow, he could talk.
Mm.
Well, he did talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did talk. I feel like if they let Norton and the director be, able to continue that story, we would have seen more of that. Like what you just said, the personality of the Hulk. Remember, because I think I told you guys last time that Norton wanted to do 2 films, where one was about the origin, and then the second was about Hulk being a conscious dreamer. We would have seen more of that if Disney didn't get in the way, of course. But hey, it's MCU, so
yeah, I think like there's still a lot of potential for the Hulk. Yeah. Okay, Thor Ragnarok as a movie, I love Thor Ragnarok's my favorite Marvel movie because it's bright, colorful. Look, everybody, my opinion, everyone who knows me knows what my favorite movies are. We always have this argument, Wonder Woman. It's obvious. If you know who I am, you could literally easily pick my favorite movies. It's like, what does Jason like? Well, he likes bright, colorful, heroic action, and Thor Ragnarok had all that. If you want to get into the film criticism, because I took film courses and so did Steve, it's like,
I want to say so.
like we can get into things where it's like, well, is Thor really portrayed perfectly in Thor Ragnarok as Thor would be? Is Loki really portrayed the way Loki really is? Because he's kind of an asshole, but he's not in Thor Ragnarok. He's kind of a hero. He's an anti-hero. But Thor Ragnarok for Hulk was the best Hulk we got. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say that. Yeah, like as him, like with his personality, I believe that. But like after that, it just went down.
Well, the problem they did was, and by the way, the 2-headed guy was By-Beast. That's who you were thinking.
By-Beast.
That dude. Yeah, I was like, why didn't we see him fight? Man.
Yeah, that would have been cool because
By-Beast
is an awesome character.
But
the problem is that in Endgame, they made him Professor Hulk with no context. He was just Professor Hulk.
Right. And
you're like, what happened? Why all of a sudden are
To me, I thought it was too early, or they should have did that way back.
Yeah, I am with you 100%. Too early, no explanation. That could have been a very interesting story. Wasted, right? Like Endgame is not like, I like Endgame. It's not like perfection, right? It did drop the ball on some things. That's one of the things that dropped. And like, my boy Hawkeye, my boy Hulk, like they're getting the shit kicked out of them.
They are.
What happened? Like Hawkeye's tattoo, like Hawkeye and Hulk are the 2 guys I have to. I'm gonna get Captain America eventually as well, but like those are my guys, and it's like they didn't do a lot in these movies. They're just kind of there. You're like, what's Sean saying? Universal's right, shares Marvel MCU can't. I know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I was saying. Like Universal, I told somebody, I think I said this in the stream on Truth, that Universal owns the solo screen rights for Hulk.
Yeah.
and the MCU only owns the secondary rights for Hulk. Yet they're
Yeah.
doing a solo She-Hulk series. I'm just like, you know what? I would rather just watch Universal Hulk movies. I'm fine with that because I don't want MCU ruin them no more. That's
Yeah, the big
So
baby moments were weird. At least it was somewhat of a personality. Yeah, I love Ragnarok, and I know you're not a big Marvel fan.
yeah,
Uh,
she's right. My wife hate Marvel. But I enjoy DC too.
she's a DC fan. I'm an everything fan.
Yeah. Yeah, Bell is right. Like the problem is that it's sort of seen through Thor's perspective, and Thor already has a rivalry with Hulk.
Right.
You could construe though that the Hulk is a big baby. That's actually accurate, where he's a large child, where he's
That's
just
true.
like,
even my
you're
sister
my
said that.
yeah, yeah. So
I
She
think
hasn't read the comics.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you something. I'll tell you something. Kids always feel that the world or their parents don't get them.
yeah,
And this is why kids took to the Hulk. Like, like when I was a kid, I liked Hulk because I'm like, yeah, he's this big, strong guy. And if anyone tries to mess with me, I'll turn into the Hulk and I can beat them up. And the thing is, like, that is sort of like a juvenile fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can become this great, strong guy. And that's why, like, the Hulk sticks with you in that sense. Like little kids around the world love the Hulk show, the cartoon. Like Lou Ferrigno's like, he's like, I've got grown men. I'm 43. He's like, I've got 43-year-old, 50-year-old men coming up to me crying. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're the Hulk, you're the best. And it's like,
Yeah, he honestly, when my mom had me watch the series, she literally changed my mind. Like that right there, that Hulk, I love
yeah.
so much, so much.
and Bill
I said,
Bixby
I
is
wish I was
amazing.
born back in the 70s.
Wolverine versus Hulk. Ooh, yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, if they did Wolverine versus Hulk, I would like. I don't think people would know what to do with themselves
I
because
know.
it would be so. And that's another like great matchup. They faced each other before, like several times. I think it was Hulk versus it was Hulk and Wolverine, but I feel like the Wendigo was involved. He's fought the Wendigo a few times.
Yep. Well, I mean, Wolverine first appeared in Hulk, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that was the one where he fought the Wendigo, and like I would love to see that character live action too. Like visually, he would be
sick.
awesome, but like he's a cannibal. Hey, Truth.
Truth.
What's up, Truth?
Talking about Incredible Hulk, your second favorite topic of all time. No, I don't know.
When are we doing the live stream, Truth?
Truth is going to do a live stream about like an hour after I start mine, so that we can break the internet like we did last time.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be
Cross
on
the
there.
streams.
Cross the streams, I know, like Ghostbusters. It's like you're not supposed to do that, but we did. We broke the rules of YouTube, and YouTube punished us.
But
yeah, go ahead, Steve.
yeah, I think the things we want to see most of all, it'd be great to see a Gray Hulk because people wouldn't know how to react to that because Gray Hulk is a psychotic character.
He's serious.
He's
It's a
very serious.
thing. Yeah, and
Like-
I don't know if the MCU will ever get to that point. I just don't know. But they
You're right.
should. They really should because you're showing people these characters that actually have a serious take on like in the Marvel, comic books, that their stories actually matter.
Yeah.
It just I don't know.
Well, I mean, to give an example, if anyone that isn't familiar with Gray Hulk, the last issue I read, he was basically iced up. Oh, hey, Anthony, he was iced up, and Shield was doing some shady stuff. And Doc Samson is like the most gullible character in the world. He always like gets blindsided because he always believes in the good of man, and he always
I
gets
like
killed.
Doc Sam. I have a Doc Samson statue, a little mini one.
Yeah, no, I mean he's a great character, but he's so gullible. He's all so anyhow. Like Hulk is all iced up. Iceman's got him, and Hulk is like they're going to they're going to kill me,
Right.
and he says they're going to double cross you and kill me. And I don't remember if it's Cyclops or Iceman or who, but they're like, well, how do you know that? And Hulk smiles. He's like, because I'm completely corrupt, and that's what I would do. basically insinuating that's what they would that they're completely corrupt. So I would love people wouldn't know what to do with a Grey Hulk character because he talks, he's very lucid, and he's completely almost amoral, right? If he saves people, it's just because he decided to save people today. He's almost like the Joker.
Yeah, it is because Gray Hulk was gray. I hate to see just to not to if that was the point, but it's like it was really just like stories of this character, and you just followed along. I still like Hulk because I still feel that he'll do the right thing in the very end if there is a chance to do a right thing, but it's almost he's doing the right thing for sort of a weird reason, or maybe not the reason you want him to do the right. He's not like, I'm going to be a superhero. I think Gray Hulk could be told in a darker manner. I hate to say DC versus Marvel because I hate doing that. But it's almost I feel that each character needs to have his style of movie. This is my problem with some of the MCU stuff, and it's my problem with some of the Snyder stuff. Like Superman and Batman should not have the same looking movie. Like Gray Hulk, should look more like a Zack Snyder movie, right? It's like as opposed. So these are the characters like Batman. If you're going to do Gray Hulk, right? If you're going to do Moon Knight or something like that, that's where you need these filmmakers like a Zack Snyder who can come in and take like a darker look. I'm just talking visually. Obviously, you need good writing no matter what you do, right? But like, I just need a visual style.
Yeah.
And then that visual style doesn't suit, someone like Captain America. The way they're doing Captain America is perfect. It's like, the first one was World War II. That was perfect. Winter Soldier was like him in a modern day.
That was a dark one.
That was dark, but it wasn't like, it wasn't fantasy dark. You know what I'm saying? Like Hulk would almost be fantasy dark, where
it was like story, like
it was a darker tone of like the way that the government operates, and Steve has to come to grips with how am I going to fit in the way the government behaves now. Like before, it was like, okay, we're fighting the bad guys, let's go. Now the bad guys are gray. Yeah. Right? When Steve was around, the bad guys were very obvious. They're like, no, the Nazis, they're the bad guys. We're all behind them. But now you're in this gray area of the world. Well, the bad guys are anyone who opposes the government. Well, it's like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. And Steve doesn't. That's why Civil War happened, right? Because Steve has a different kind of thought process on how that actually works. Anthony, Nick Fury Agency movie, I remember it. It's not. I have it on VHS. I taped it off of TV.
Oh my god!
That's with David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury.
Yes.
Did I watch it when it premiered? Hell yeah, I watched it when it premiered. I also watched Batwoman. Latest ratings on Batwoman, 400,000 people are watching. So more people are watching me right now than Batwoman. I'm joking on that.
I'm surprised it's still getting 400,000 people. I didn't know the cast had that many family members.
Superman and Lois has consistently 1.2 million. Kung Fu, that trash show that was just on the other day that like no one cares about, that got 1.3 million, more than Batwoman. And no one cares about Kung Fu. Batwoman's brutal. Grey Hulk Disney series. That's not like. I would love to have that, but that's not happening.
Really? I don't know. The problem is that I don't know. People will be like, why isn't he green? Right. Why isn't he, just smashing stuff randomly? Why is he like got a personality? Like, I don't. The problem is that if anyone's read the comic or knows the Hulk, they're perfectly fine with the MCU character. They probably didn't like Ragnarok Hulk because they're like, well, why is he talking and why is he like he should just be grunting and yelling. It's like when Frankenstein spoke, right? Like Boris Karloff just yelled and moaned through the first one, and in the second one he started to speak
a little bit,
and then I think I don't remember, there was one where he could speak really well.
Well, Son is the third one, and
I don't remember.
That's still, he may have. That was still Boris Karloff. After that, it was it Lon Chaney?
So it was Lon Chaney and what's his name? God, I'm blanking on the name. Bela Lugosi played him, but Wolfman versus Frankenstein.
Correct. That's right.
Mm.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
And Glenn Strange took over at one point. I think that was like the House of
House of
Dracula, House of
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yeah, so but Frankenstein in the literary, like in the novel, is like
Oh,
a
he's-
super smart guy.
Yeah, he's very eloquent. But like, I don't know if people. I think people liked the MCU Hulk because a lot of
Right.
people. That's their impression of what the Hulk is. Exactly, and I agree, Jay. Like, that's not who the Hulk is.
It's really not. Honestly, the closest they ever got to a comic accurate Hulk was Norton's.
Probably.
That's all I'm saying.
It
Comic
did
accurate
feel
close.
yeah, he still fought a creature. I just don't like the way the Abomination looks in that movie.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he fought. The fight was awesome. It
Yeah.
holds up pretty good today. I watched it
And
like not long
Here's
ago.
the thing. Since they're saying that he's coming back, that's pretty much my only reason I might watch the She-Hulk series. Just because of that. Abomination.
Right.
So I want to see if he's still the same. If he's not, I'm jumping off. Like, quick.
I'll be honest with you, visually, I would love to see him look more like the comic book because the comic book looks better.
They might, I mean, honestly, they might give him the ears and they might give him a little green, theme color.
Scales.
But
The
yeah,
scales,
but my problem with it is that why wait after 10 years when we could have had this going? Why wait? You know what I'm saying? That's my only thing with them. They could have got this going like pronto, but no, they waited 10 years. And especially when Hulk is like not even Hulk anymore. He's just
yeah. I really don't like the Hulk in the Endgame.
No.
At
No,
all.
not at all.
Even being Smart Hulk, I don't like. I don't. Gosh,
I don't like Smart Hulk.
I don't like the
even
smart.
even Ferrigno said that the design for Professor Hulk, like, is not even right.
He had
No,
beard.
Yeah, his Hulk was way better, and he was the monster everybody knew from the old show and the comics. That's
Like-
why it worked.
Like, the Hulk shouldn't look like he needs a shave.
Yeah, it was weird. And I don't like him being silly with people. Like, I don't get that at all.
No, it's bad. Like, even when in the comics he wasn't like that. Like,
No,
he got
like he's smart and
pardoned.
intelligent, and he's
Yeah.
like, I like having the black
Yes.
tank top.
Yeah.
That just seemed kind of cool. I don't know. I just don't like the way that. Yeah. Oh, geez. I don't like that at all.
Wasn't he?
That's what I'm kind of worried about. Like, if they show him like that in the series, I'm not.
Didn't he have like a blank tank top for Defenders? I thought I saw.
In
He wore-
Defenders, he was just Savage Hulk for a while, and then he may have changed because he was on and off Defenders for a while.
Yeah.
And then this is when Valkyrie and my boy Nighthawk. I love Nighthawk. And then Surfer left and Namor left. Namor was off and on a bit. Surfer left pretty much immediately, and then it was basically Doctor Strange, Nighthawk, Valkyrie, Hulk, and then sometimes Namor. And then I think Luke Cage appeared a couple times, but like Defenders was rotating a lot.
Yeah.
To me, it's Valkyrie, Nighthawk, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Namor, those five, but four of those five. But
Right.
yeah, he was. I don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have all the Defenders issues, but I do have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah, they just didn't do enough with Hulk. It's like basically MCU, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. Those guys got the big A+ treatments, and Hawkeye, Black Widow. Maybe she'll get redeemed in her
What about Black
movie.
Panther? What do you think?
Yeah, Black Panther, he got good treatment, especially
Yeah.
in Civil War. He was the best character in Civil War.
Yeah.
Honestly,
In his-
stand out to me.
In his own movie, he was good, but he was also surrounded by a lot of other interesting characters. So I felt almost like he was like part of yeah. I still like him the best. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought he was awesome. I really like Black Panther. I have a little Black Panther thing on my desk at work, and it talks. You press him, and he says, "I'm the Black Panther," and it's like. So I like Black Panther, but I was reading the Jack Kirby Black Panther stuff. To me, that's like the OG, like official Black Panther, like him going out on missions
Yeah.
and doing cool adventures. I can show you. I can show. I don't want to turn this into a Black Panther stream, but it's like that was the kind of the Black Panther that I liked, and I kind of you got that a little bit, a little bit. Unfortunately, I guess we're not going to be getting that again. But like this is the Black Panther that I
Yeah.
right.
That
Yeah.
old school.
Or even the Christopher Priest run had great art, and even the Jungle Tales was pretty good as well. Sean, I think She-Hulk would be a Falcon Winter Soldier. Yes. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is basically a Captain America TV series without Captain America. It's like
Yeah.
Batwoman is a TV series, without Batman or any intelligence. But
It's just not. Honestly, I don't understand how Batwoman is still like that. I don't know, man. It's not.
I love beating up Batwoman just because it's just fun to beat up on that show.
It's so horrible.
It,
Awful.
it's kind of like beating up on a mentally handicapped little kid.
That's not fun. I know, it's like, stop it. We're hurting him.
It's kind of just
we're just bullying now.
It's like someone in the street and they're already down, and there's already been a mob who worked them over, and you just get a kick into.
Yeah, it's like you keep beating up that. Listen, the ratings are beating her up on her own, man. All right, guys. I think we're going to start to wrap up. Any other like musings or any thoughts on Incredible Hulk?
Same thing I've said before. I encourage everyone to, if you haven't, go back to the original 6 issues. You'll get to see the Hulk on an airplane, sitting in an airplane seat. I mean,
Which
what
is
more
super
could you
cool.
want? He
Yeah.
bought an airplane ticket. That's where it all began. That's where Hulk began. You got Kirby and Stan Lee. They're legends for good reason. So if you are interested in Hulk and you want to get into it, please start at the beginning, and please give it, because those guys gave everything to their stories and to the issues, and they were phenomenal. And what better way to start your Hulk journey than at the beginning?
Yeah, I agree. That's a great place to start. It's so good. The issues are very strong. They're very fun and very fast paced. So it's a great place to start. All right, Steve, thanks for coming on as usual. I will see you on Sunday for our round table discussion. I'm going to put you backstage while we just end off with Jo. All right,
Jo, take care of yourself.
Right, see ya.
Thanks, man. Yeah, nice meeting you.
All right, JL, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you coming on. And you want to just give a quick final thoughts on Hulk? And I've put JL's Instagram up here in the chat, so you can check him out on Instagram. I'm going to give you the solo and go for it.
All right. Yeah. So, like I said, standout movie, Incredible Hulk, 2008, Edward Norton. The She-Hulk series. If I was to watch, I'm only gonna watch for Abomination because, like I said, he was literally like a standout villain in the film. So, I mean, if they do him good, then I'll, gonna keep watching it. But if they do him bad, I'm jumping off. And yeah, man. Hey, I'll start seeing if I can read some comics on Grey Hulk more, and yeah, pretty much.
All right, yeah, and those are all available on Comixology, so you don't have to try to find. I'm actually getting the actual comic
Comixology?
issues, but Comixology is the app, or you can use the Marvel app as well. I have everything. I got literally I don't know, 5,000 something comics on my iPad. It's it's crazy.
Okay.
But all right, JL, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna put you backstage while I talk a little bit. Okay.
Cool.
All right, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right, see ya. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up right there. Thank you for joining me. And if you want to be a part of the Amazing Fans, it's real easy. Comment on one of the videos here, on any one of my videos. And you don't have to have a channel. You don't have to be an author like Steven's an author. You don't have to have your own thing. You could just be a guy who wants to talk, or a girl who wants to talk, anybody who wants to talk about a character they love. It could be a DC character, it could be a Marvel character, it could be, a pulp character like the Shadow or the Spider or Green Hornet or something. It could be, we had Tarzan on last week, right? It could be anybody. Even if you want to get into movie characters, I'm a big fan of Snake Plissken or any of the John Carpenter characters, or even something like, I don't know, like I like Santo. I just looking around my room at stuff that, luchador movies. I got a whole bunch of those. If you want to talk about black exploitation flicks, I'm into that too. Swamp Thing, right? Anything. So yeah, let me know, and we can arrange something. Now next Friday, I'll be back with the Amazing Fans. We're going to be talking to a Captain America fan who's taken his love a little bit of a step further than just saying I like Captain America. So we're gonna chat with him next Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna open the chat up as usual. You guys can ask questions. It's gonna be Captain America heavy. Captain America is really popular now because of this Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I think we're gonna have a good time talking about Captain America. This Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time is the Danger Room main show, which is going to be talking about Invincible. There's a couple of episodes that have come out since we last talked, I think. We're going to be talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And we are going to open it up so that anybody in the chat can come in and join us and talk to us. And we might break the internet like we broke it last time. We'll see how it goes. So definitely, if you want to join us there, hit us up on Sunday at 6:30. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you're just tuning in, give me a like, subscribe if you like the content that you're seeing, and that's it. All right, guys, until next time.